Good morning. Welcome to One More Thing Before You Go over the Teacup with Michael and Diane. It is Sunday morning, July 3rd. That's one day before July 4th, our Independence Day, which we're really excited about celebrating our independence. But we have a little apprehension. We'll save that for another podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about Magnum P.I., the show that we helped to save, and it's back in the second season of one of our favorite streaming shows on Hulu, Only Murders in the Building. Season 2 is up and it's running and we're excited. And a new series that we are hooked on and just finished binging season 1, starting on season 2, Resident Alien. So grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of whatever you drink in the morning. I'm your host, Michael Hirst. I'm here with my lovely co-host and wife, Diane.
Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome back. This is a great morning. It's a really nice outside. We're enjoying the weather here in sunny Phoenix, and I'm kind of happy about what we're going to talk about. How about you?
Yes, me too. I'm so excited.
Well, let's start
Magnum.
let's start with Magnum PI. Magnum PI
Yay.
is a wonderful show that we helped to save. It was on CBS for, I think, 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
Only
Yep.
4 seasons. It's a reboot of the original. We talked about it in the past when we did the Save the Magnum PI show. And we learned that on the first day of July, we were presented with some fantastic news that Magnum PI was saved.
Yay. Yay, NBC.
NBC. The reboot grabbed a 2-season 20-episode order, which is kind of confusing. But NBC decided that they're going to put 20 seasons, or excuse me, 20 episodes up. It's going to be split over 2 seasons, the Series 5 and the Series 6, with an option for more.
Season 5 and Season 6.
Yeah, Season 5 and Season 6. So what they're going to do is 10 on each, and I think they're going to do a test for the audience to make sure that we're still watching and we're still listening and we're still paying attention, which we will be, of course.
We will be. Yes.
Yeah, we will be 100%.
Yes.
The news comes after a month of waiting and supporting and blasting across social media to save this program. It actually was at the top of the USA Save This Show slate of shows that people were trying to save. It was number 1 on there. And they said
it was tied with something else. I can't
well, on
remember.
one of the other polls it was tied, but on USA it was number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the fact that they how did that? What did I read? I read something about the fact that they almost made history with as many people who responded to this that did because of
And then
because of that.
they had that thing in Times Square too. They had the
Yeah, I mean, it was everywhere.
I don't want to call it a billboard because it's different than a billboard. It's more than a billboard, but they had that in Times Square that was all about saving the show, and that doesn't usually happen.
And Jay Hernandez said, come out and tweeted and said, we want to thank all the fans and, everybody that helped to, bring this back, and thank NBC for giving us the opportunity. And he says, it's time to dust off the old Aloha shirt. We have a lot of that in common because I wear Aloha shirts all the time.
And the men wear great ones on that show.
Yes, they do.
Those are some nice shirts.
Yes, they do. So we wanted to say thank you very much to all of you who helped us save and bring back this wonderful show, this cast and the crew for at least 2 seasons and hopefully more. So Magnum, Higgins, TC, and Rick, we're looking forward to seeing you on NBC. We'll let you guys know when it's going to air. Now on to our other guilty pleasure. Only Murders in the Building.
Yay! It's so good.
We love Only Murders in the Building. We talked about Only Murders in the Building in a previous episode. It's one of our highest downloaded episodes actually out there, believe it or not. Let's preface this with a little history with those individuals who have not watched it yet, like my sister who just started. Only Murders in the Building.
Start watching it.
Only Murders in the Building is an American mystery comedy streaming television series created by Steve Martin and John Huffman. The 10-episode first season premiered on Hulu on August 31st, 2021. The plot follows three strangers played by Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. As Diane just said, they share an obsession with a true crime podcast. So obviously we have a little bit of camaraderie with that because
Yeah.
you're on a podcast. After a suspicious death in their affluent Upper West Side apartment building, the Arconia, which actually has some unique history within itself.
Yeah.
You can look that up on Google, and believe it or not, there's a history behind the building that they're talking about that kind of go along the same lines as this, excluding the podcast part of it.
Right.
The three neighbors decided to start their own podcast about their investigation of the death, which the police ruled a suicide. And again, we've talked about it in a previous episode. You can look that up on our website, beforeyougopodcast.com, and pick it up there. The series received critical acclaim with praise directed at its comedic approach to crime fiction, as well as the performances and chemistry among the lead performers. In September 2021, Hulu renewed it for the second season, which premiered June 28th, 2022. And we're working on that one right now. And it's really,
Yes, we
really
are.
good. We love it. The fact that the age gap is so broad, Selena pretty much plays the straight guy in
Yeah.
this. And you've
Yeah.
got
But
two.
she does have some good comebacks though too.
She does, but she's got two. She's working with two legends of the industry. And nobody tries to steal the spotlight from anyone else. They work
No.
very, very well together, like a little family, actually. And you don't. I mean, when you watch it, you get drawn in
Yeah. You
to
really
the
do.
dynamic. It's pretty.
And you feel like you're there
Yeah, I mean, it's
going through it with them.
going through with the whole. Yeah, going with it with a. Let me try that without tongue tying my tongue. That's another mystery right there. We'll see if they want to investigate that one. Yeah, it's a really good show, and it makes you wonder whether or not they could actually have a second season, because in the first season they solved the murder.
Right.
But if you look at a little
But then
clue,
at the very end,
well, it
there's
is,
something
but
that happens.
there's a clue in the title. It doesn't say only murder in the building. It says only
Right.
murders in the building.
Yes.
So, there's another murder, of course, and then they get framed for it. And now they have to decide whether or not they're going to reinvestigate to kind of clear their names.
Or get themselves further into trouble, because it seems like that's what keeps happening.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, got to watch it. Tuesday, Hulu. Catch up on it. If you haven't started it, please watch the first season first, or you will not understand the second season.
Yeah.
So, you can binge it. And it won't take it very long. I think the
'cause
episodes.
you get so drawn in, you just keep watching. I mean, that's what binging is. You just watch it one after another.
It works out. It works really, really, really well. So anyway, again, this is Sunday morning, so we don't want to take up too much of your time. We know that you guys want to go out and enjoy the day and do your thing, but we have another new. What do we call it? A guilty pleasure.
It's probably my new favorite, and obviously I have a lot of favorites, but and you had to convince me to start watching it.
I did. In fact, the first episode. Now, obviously, you had just come back from a conference and you were exhausted. But
I was exhausted.
yeah, the first episode you slept through and then said, "I just watch it yourself." And it's like, no, you got to go back and watch this. You have to go back and watch this.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about Resident Alien.
So good. It's so good. And it was shown on, or I guess it's still on SyFy. We don't watch it on SyFy. We watch it on the Peacock streaming service, but we did that so that we could catch up and watch the entire first season that we had missed. And so worth it. You all have got to watch the show. It is so good. So it stars Alan Tudyk from Firefly and Rogue One, and he is an unforgettable character masquerading as the town doctor Harry Vanderspiegel. It was the most watched new cable drama in the last year, and SyFy's highest rated new drama in more than 6 years. So I'm telling you, people, watch the show. It is so good. The pilot alone, directed and executive produced by Wedding Crashers David Dobkin. So that is, I mean, I'll tell you right there. The pilot alone attracted over 9 million viewers across all platforms. Episode 2 saw an increase of 581,000 audience members, the biggest uptick for a cable drama launch since 2014. It is a good show, okay? The show follows the misadventures of a socially inept visitor from beyond the stars. And it's based on the Dark Horse comic of the same name by Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse. Mike Richardson and Keith Goldberg of Dark Horse Entertainment and Justin Falvey and Daryl Frank of Amblin TV serve as executive producers alongside showrunner Sheridan. So,
And it's really interesting because originally the comic book is much darker than the show itself. And when they first scripted it, from what I have read and learned, when they first scripted it was scripted as that. It was scripted as kind of a dark, I'm an alien and we're here to kill the world and eat you and everything. And because
there are some dark parts to this, though.
Yes, because of Tudyk and his comedic presence. I mean, perfect. 100% a perfect. Nobody else could pull this off like him.
He's an alien trying to fit in as a human.
He's not Mork.
No.
He's not Robin Williams Mork.
No, it's not Mork 2.0.
No, but 100%. This is our new favorite show, and realistically, watching him learn to be human, and then theoretically evolving into becoming more human, even though he's an advanced race from another planet that's been visiting the planet for 1,000 years. It's just an amazing show. It's an absolutely amazing show that you absolutely have to watch.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I kind of find his whole trying to fit in. I think we as humans can relate to that because we always try to fit into certain groups or, what people think of us, think we should be and things like that. And it just shows how awkward we probably all look trying to fit in to someplace we really don't belong, or fitting in with some people we really don't belong with, or something like that. It shows how awkward we look. And but anyway, I think it's really funny.
Yeah, it is.
And funny, but it has dark.
It has dark moments at the same time. But you also see evolution, and you see how life can change, and how somebody can be shown compassion and love and understanding, and it's really just done extremely well. And they've got 2 seasons. The second season had just dropped, and it's fully available now on Peacock. And yes, you have to subscribe to Peacock in order to get it. And we don't get an affiliate for any of these things. So when we tell you that the $6 to subscribe to Peacock is well worth it. They've got a lot of other shows on there too that they're starting to really bring to the network.
When they first came out, we had subscribed, and then we just really didn't.
There wasn't a whole lot there, but reruns on everything else. Yeah,
we stopped for a while, and then but when we found out we could watch this, it was like, well, let's do this again. And then we found out they've really expanded. So
and they've got a bunch of originals too, so that they're doing, and you can watch it on SyFy, regular SyFy. But unfortunately, when I first started watching it, was on YouTube TV on SyFy. So when I first caught it, I was able to say, yes, I want to record this, but it only recorded from episode 7 on, and somehow episode 7 got screwed up. And it didn't even have full episode 7 because of something else that it preempted it somehow. But I can't even go back and watch the episodes before that on there. You can see it on Bravo if you've got Bravo. Apparently you can catch up on it there. But when I tried those other ones, it really didn't work. So I ended up going to Peacock. Peacock's in 4K anyway, and we were able to watch it from the beginning and kind of binge watch season 1, and it's got season 2 on there to binge watch as well.
And it seems to have limited commercials too.
Peacock does, yeah. They have a lot more less. They have a lot less than some of the other ones that are out there. But yeah, 100% Resident Alien, man. And the fact that it takes place in up in the mountains in Colorado, and you and I both are from the mountains of Colorado. We grew up in the mountains of Colorado.
Yeah.
It's shot in British Columbia, but they do a really good job of portraying the mountains of Colorado. They're all part of the
Yeah.
Rocky Mountains anyway, but
Yeah.
so yeah, they do a really good job of that. The only thing is, there's a few little things that kind of bug me. Like it's a town of 1,000 people, but they've got these big fancy restaurants, and you know,
And
they
they still end up finding people they don't. Well,
they don't
in
know.
1,000 people, you're gonna find people you don't know.
Yeah, but even
I
when
mean,
we lived in you lived in Estes Park, I lived in Woodland Park. Then you and I both lived in Woodland Park. You
mhm.
know, both of those were small towns,
Yeah,
and
and there's people you don't know.
there's people you don't know. But in a town
So
of 1,000, you figure that you kind of would know pretty much everybody. You know, once they had grown up with each other and so forth. But yeah, they do a really good job of that. You know, and it
mhm.
kind of there's a couple little things from a law enforcement side that we'll just
You
leave
do
those
that on
alone.
every show. Any
Yeah,
show that has cops on it, you are nitpicking incessantly.
yeah,
It
but
is so
this
hard to watch TV with you when it has to do with anything
one,
cops.
this one, the guy should be a town marshal, not a
Not a
sheriff.
sheriff. No.
Sheriffs run a whole county, not a small town. Not a small town. In the olden
Okay.
days, yes. Present day, they don't. So that kind of, but that's
And
a little tiny thing.
this is why I don't watch all cop shows with you.
Exactly. That's just a little
I
tiny
watch
thing.
some. There are some I watch with you, and there's some I just like, no, I'm not
Well,
watching that show with you.
and again, that's just a little tiny thing. So,
Yeah.
um, so anyway, we've given you guys a couple of things. I mean, again, this is Sunday morning, so we don't want to take up all of your time, but
And we want to get to
we
watching
want to get to watching
season
the
2
rest of
of
Resident
Resident
Alien
Alien.
and Hulu's, because I think Only Murders in the Building. I don't know if we're behind an
We're
episode or not. We might be
no, we're
caught
not
up.
behind an
Yeah,
episode. Oh
they
my
need to.
goodness.
Yeah.
No, we would never be behind an episode.
Yeah, Hulu, I appreciate you coming, bringing this to us, but we love it.
Yes.
But why don't you just like release the whole episode, the whole
Right. The
season,
whole season.
so we can just sit down and watch it, because it's a pain
Yes.
in the butt having to wait each week to find out what's going to happen next. But I 100% agree. The dynamics, I mean, we watched Selena Gomez grow up basically on TV,
Hmm.
and we weren't sure.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yes, we weren't sure how it was going to how this was going to kind of work with the fact
Yeah.
that her age with somebody like Steve Martin and Martin Short
The
being
legends.
their age are legends,
Yeah.
but it just works so well together. I just got my
Agreed.
sister starting to watch it. She texted me last night and said, "I'm watching this. This is fantastic."
Yeah.
So you guys all need
Good.
to do the same thing, but don't text me. You can email me at Michael at onemorethingbeforeyougo.com, but don't text me. Don't text me.
Or
Anyway,
and you could always ask to be a guest on the show,
you can always ask, exactly, come on, talk about
and
your favorite
we'll
TV
talk about
program.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Talk about your favorite TV program. So thank you very much for joining us here on Over the Teacup on a Sunday. We hope that you have a wonderful day the rest of the day. Please enjoy it wherever you're at. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. There's some things that are going on at the moment that kind of overshadow 4th of July, but please take the opportunity to remember that we all are Americans and we love our country, and
And to
we're
stay independent,
stay independent, and
we need to vote.
we need to
It's
vote.
4
Get
months
out and vote.
away. Vote. Tell everybody to get out and vote. Vote.
Vote.
Vote.
Vote.
Vote.
Vote. Vote. Okay.
Okay.
One more thing before you go. Have a great day. Have a great week, and thanks for listening.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go, a unique conversation about life. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.
And one more thing before you go. Have a nice day. Have a nice week, and thanks for listening.
One More Thing Before You Go, a unique conversation about life podcast, is a creation of One More Thing Productions, established 2010, all rights reserved.